since that day, I have not consumed alcohol at all. And I'm so, you can see the joy, you can see it all. You can see the goodness of God in my life. Everyone around me can see it. It's been 2 months now. Yeah, 2 months now. And I have not thought of alcohol. Good morning, everyone. My name is Josephine, and I'm connected from Canada. I was privileged to be prayed for, to be delivered from the spirit of alcoholism. I had a drinking problem that started in about 2017. I remember my first experience was I had a family dispute, and my dad had a drinking problem. So he always kept alcohol in the house. And then I became frustrated and just ran to alcohol. So that was my first experience. And then after that, I was okay. I didn't go back to drinking at all up until I'd say late 2019 when I lost my job. And I just kind of felt like it was the end of the world. Shortly after 2020, and everything was shut down, it was a pandemic, and I found myself drinking on a weekly basis. So it went on from 2020 up until May 9th of this year. So I didn't realize it was an issue up until 2023. And my sister brought it to my attention. And then she's like, "Oh, I think you have a drinking problem." And I was like, "Oh, I don't think it's that bad. It's just wine here and there. It shouldn't be that bad." So it went from drinking weekly to drinking every day. And it became worse because I eventually got a job where I was working from home. So I found myself drinking while on duty. So eventually I lost my job and it became worse. I didn't stop. You'd think I would realize that this thing is holding me back, but it didn't stop from there. So I kept on drinking, and I struggled financially. I found myself in debt because I wasn't working. At that point, I'm realizing, like, I'm coming to terms with the fact that this is bringing me back. This is an issue. I didn't drink socially, so not even many people knew that I had a drinking problem. So people that knew me for the longest, they would just see me gain weight, but they would not understand what is going on. So I would just buy alcohol and put it in the house. So I think because I was drinking for so long, I just had a good way of masking it. You would just see me. Also, I'm just naturally bubbly, so I'm always smiling. So you wouldn't really think I'm intoxicated. That's why I'm like that. So I started seeking for solution because it just became so bad. I barely had any relationships. I kept to myself. I would just isolate myself and drink my life away. I thought, you know what? I'm going to get braces because that would hold me from, consuming alcohol because alcohol damages your teeth. So I thought, you know what? That's going to help me. But that didn't work at all. And then because I had gained so much weight from drinking, so I decided to start taking the GPL, which is Ozempic. They said it helps with your drinking. So I started taking it. And that didn't work because I stopped eating, but I continued drinking. So I thought, okay, that's not healthy. So I stopped. And eventually I thought maybe I need a new environment. So I moved because I used to live with my mom. I moved to another city and I moved for school as well. I'd made a decision. I said, I'm going to change my life. No more drinking. So when I moved to the new city, the lady that welcomed me was my mom's friend. And she had no idea that I had a drinking problem. So she brought me a bottle of wine and it didn't stop from there. So I found myself coming back from school and there was a liquor store, right? Like just a few doors to school. So right after classes, I would buy alcohol, go home and drink. So with time, it just became too much. And I couldn't live with the lady anymore. So I ended up getting my own apartment. And that didn't stop. It was just a routine for me. I would drink before bed, in the morning. If I had my way, if when I was going to school, I tried not to drink. But if I had my way, if I'm home the whole day, then I would just drink. It was around Christmas time, so I thought I should come back home because I have a big family. So I wanted to come back home and celebrate Christmas with my siblings and my parents. So I came back home. I was intoxicated. I went to bed and, I just got up it was about 2 or 3 a.m. and I just put my laptop. I This is how I signed up for interactive prayer. So I've always known about God's Heart TV through Emmanuel TV. And interestingly, I would watch interactive like on YouTube with my family. My sister is a very committed Christian, has a beautiful relationship. She's right here beside me. She has a very beautiful relationship with Jesus. So sometimes she would be like, okay, so we have prayer meetings. I would join them. But for the longest, what was holding me back, I just kind of felt like I led myself towards this lifestyle, because I went from, oh, it's not all the time, to doing it every day. Now it's an addiction. So I just thought, God has nothing to do with it. It's my fault. I have to deal with the consequences. So I never really brought it up to God. It's not until I was consumed because I didn't even know who I was. I didn't know what day was Monday. I didn't know what day was Wednesday. You could barely have a conversation with me. If I'm invited somewhere, I won't show up because I would rather be drinking. So it just became too much. So I signed up for the prayer request that night because I just got up and I started to think about my life. I said, just that I'm getting older, and what if I die? What happens? But life continued as normal. And I was very shocked. They actually got back to me very quick. So I couldn't believe it when I saw the email. And I ran to my sister and I told her the good news. I shared the good news. So I was just very excited because my birthday was close too. So, I was just thinking this is a gift from God to me, because I just said I'd been praying for change. I'd been wanting something new. So I met with Sister Allison and she sent me a link and then I joined the interactive prayer.
In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, whatever the devil has used to connect himself to you, I say to that chain, be broken in Jesus' mighty name. Every connection to alcohol, be broken, 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 broken in Jesus' name. Oh Lord, give her the assurance of your freedom right now. Thank you. Our sister in Canada, give thanks to God. You are free. Rejoice in that freedom.
I was privileged to be prayed for, as you all saw in the video. And Brother Chris came forward and he was praying for me. I was very prepared. I had my bucket I had my bucket in case I throw up. So he's praying for me and I'm thinking, but I don't feel anything, And I just began to say, God, I can't go back to that lifestyle. I began to get much. I said, I can't go back. I was trying to be positive, but I'm like, he's almost done with the prayer. I don't feel anything. I didn't throw up. And I just said, I need assurance that I'm not going back to this life. And then as we heard in the end, Brother Chris mentioned something like, God, give her assurance that she's delivered. And that was the confirmation I need. And since that day, I have not consumed alcohol at all. And I am so happy. You can see the joy. You can see it all. You can see the goodness of God in my life. Everyone around me can see it. It's been 2 months now. Yeah, 2 months now. And I have not thought of alcohol. No, you won't see me running, going to the liquor store at 10 a.m. Sometimes I'll go at 1 a.m. looking for alcohol. But life is beautiful. I am always looking forward to every day, just enjoying the love of God. I have no words to describe the goodness of God. My name is Emma, and I am her younger sister. This is my older sister, Josephine, and I can confirm that it's definitely true. She did have an alcohol addiction for years. I can definitely testify to the change or the growth in her character. She was usually very easily agitated and withdrawn, especially when it comes to like family issues. She would rather just drink her sorrows away. And she was often irritated at the slightest provocation. But I've definitely seen a change in that. She doesn't run to alcohol anytime she is frustrated. I haven't seen her drink since the day she received prayer. She is more involved in prayer. She usually joins us when we are praying. She's just a lot happier now. And now she is, I don't even know how to explain it, just more lively, just full of life in general.
What's your advice to viewers all over the world listening to you right now that are living with family members with challenges or a challenge like this?
I think my advice would be to never give up and remember the love of God for us. God doesn't give up on us, and He wouldn't want us to give up on others as well. Remember to love them the way God did, because if He had given up on me, I don't know where I would have been. So we should try our best to reciprocate that by being more like Jesus, exude Jesus's love towards others, and basically remember that anybody who is facing any addiction or any like sin enslaves you. That person is a slave to that thing. And when you look at it from that perspective, you will learn to be more sympathetic rather than irritated or be fed up with that person and think, well, they're never changing, so why waste my time? But when you remember that God never gave up on you, you will also extend the same love to others.
Well, Josephine, you'll be in a very good position to give advice to people that have this hidden addiction. What is your advice to people listening to you right now?
Build a relationship with Jesus. Because I find without Jesus, it's easy, to find yourself in situations like this. You'd be like, oh, I'm stressed. I'm so stressed out. It's just a glass of wine. Okay. Okay, you have a glass of wine today, and the next day, and the next day, and before you know it, you can't live without it. But I found that just building a relationship with God, there's so many things I want to do, and then I'll be convicted. Just run to Jesus. He's the only solution. And also, when God blesses you or when He delivers you, it's permanent. Because I don't look at alcohol and think, oh, I need to drink. I just think of where I'm coming from. And I'm like, absolutely not. And don't flirt with sin. Don't entertain it. So I would definitely recommend just holding on to Jesus.
Days afterwards, the scrotal eczema that I was experiencing, the symptoms which had returned again, completely vanished. And I've been healed completely from all the symptoms. I also have to say that God delivered me also from the masturbation spirit, the pornography, the fornication.